Today's been a great day tracking. I found this wonderful old logging landing that was recently graded with a bulldozer, and look at the beautiful mud in here. This old dirt road actually has yielded quite a few tracks. Plenty of deer have been in here. I found gray fox, many birds, rough-skinned newt tracks, some mice, and a lot of bear tracks. What I wanted to show you is the bear tracks, because it's December and the bears are out and about. Several bears, in fact. I found the tracks of a large bear and a small bear going opposite directions, so I don't think it's a mama bear with a cub. Let's go look at their trails. If you look very closely in here in this mud, you can see a lot of bear tracks. This is just amazing. Here's a bear track. There's another bear track. That one is associated with the same bear. Here's a very large bear track. Another large one. One here. One right there. So this area is what I call Bear Central. There's been a lot of bear activity in here. This particular track is so beautiful, you can see all the details in it. Look at those toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth toe barely left an imprint right there. Look at that heel print. I call that a kidney bean shape. Sort of a half moon or a kidney bean. It's really beautiful. This looks like the right front track of a black bear. You can tell because this inner toe is the smallest. It's equivalent to our big toe. On this next track, the bear actually left some claw imprints at the front edge of its toes there. You don't always see claw imprints with black bear tracks. It's not the usual thing. Here's that larger bear going across here. Now its claw marks are way ahead of the toes. Notice this one. But again, all of the toes did not leave claw marks. These ones did. So this is Bear Central. Here's an interesting track. It's a bear track on top of a bear track. Notice the toe marks here. This is all that's remaining of the track that was there before it was stepped on by this bear. This is a right front foot. Again, here's the ruler for size. You can see all 5 toes. No claw marks are evident, but a very beautiful half moon or kidney bean shaped pad there in the foot. Let's follow this bear and see where it goes. Beautiful claw marks there. What I found with this bear is it started to veer to the right. Excuse me, to the left. So its tracks are starting to go this direction. Another one. Why is it doing this? We'll see in a moment. There's another track. This mud is really thick. Look at my shoes. Pretty amazing, huh? Now what did it do? It jumped onto the log. This is what I thought was so cool about the trail of that bear. It jumped up here onto the log and left imprints of all 4 feet. The left hind and left front, right hind and right front. Then it turned and proceeded to walk down the log, leaving little muddy prints. We call this, by the way, transfer. What that means is the bear was in mud and its feet transferred some mud to the next surface that it stepped on, which happened to be this log. So following these transfer tracks down the log, we see little muddy footprints left by the black bear. This one you can actually make out the shape of the heel pad. All the way down the log. Now down here, it seems that the bear has examined this a little bit to see how hard this log was. There are a couple of scratch marks here, barely visible, and it scratched at that log too. Not many foods available this time of year, so the bear was checking out this log to see if it was rotten enough, but it's not. This is a redwood log. They don't rot. This log could sit here for 50 years and not rot. Now look what happened. The bear jumped back down. There's this track, and here's another track. Look at this. The little heel of his front foot showed up in that track, and then he proceeded to go that direction. But our friend the bear took a very short walk, maybe about 12 feet long, on top of this log. They're curious and intelligent, and they love to explore their environment. Now, because this is December, the bears are usually sleeping this time of year. In my area, they don't truly hibernate. They can actually wake up and wander around in the middle of winter, because it doesn't get super cold and frozen like it does in other areas. So it wouldn't be unusual to see a bear around in December. And there are two sets of tracks here from two different bears. And it rained about a week ago, so I can give an estimate, a time estimate, on when these tracks were made. Because if it had rained on those tracks, they would have been washed off the surface of the log. Since they're still there, that tells me that these tracks are about a week old, or have been made since the rain. So here's a little note about aging tracks. Pay attention to the weather patterns in your area, and it helps to note when it rains, when it's sunny, when it's hot and dry. Things like that affect the soil, and the soil can be transferred to other materials, and it can also be washed off those materials by rain. So it's something to keep an eye on, and it will help you with your tracking. If you know when it last rained, and you know that it's been dry since then, that will help you age sign like this. Since it has not been washed off, and it doesn't appear to have any rain marks on it, I know how old this sign is. So there's a little bit about tracking bears. And I'm going to keep following this bear because I'm curious to see what it did, where it went. What was it looking for out here? Did it find food? In December, what is it eating? So I'm going to continue to follow these tracks here. Let's see what this bear did. This bear is leaving hind foot, front foot, hind foot, front foot tracks. And this mud makes tracking wonderful. So that's a little short lesson in tracking black bears. And I'm quite amazed at how many tracks there are just in this short little area. There were two back there, two more there, one here. I stepped on one there. There's one here. Another set here. And another set there, and here. There are just bear tracks everywhere. There and there. This is really bear paradise. Look at how many tracks you can see just in here. Pretty amazing. So that's what you can find if you go outside and look for tracks and trails. Have fun and see you on the trail.